everyone, Shauna here. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, today I'm going to talk to you guys about some of my pet peeves. The little day-to-day things that people do that just really get under my skin. I made a list of the things that bother me, and I'm sure there are things that I have forgotten about. I started making the list about a week ago, and there's definitely been times over the past week when I've been like walking to school or something, and I've thought of something like, oh, I need to write that down for my pet peeves, and then I get home and I don't remember what it is. But I've got a few, so let's go ahead and get started. The first two both have to do with my name. So the first one is when people spell my name wrong. And I'm a pretty understanding person. I know that my name is not typically how you think when you see it written on paper. I know my name is a little not normal, but it's not like, it's a real name. It's not like the name has been made up. And like, I get that if you just hear the name Shauna, and you're like, oh, you're Shauna, oh, Shauna, and then you've never seen it written down and you write like S-H-A-U-N-A or S-H-A-W-N-A. Like, I get that. No one, when they hear the name Shauna, thinks first of S-E-A-N-A. Like, if you have never seen my name written down and you spell it completely wrong, like, I'll forgive you. But it's when people spell it S-E-A-N-N-A. I only have one N in my name, and you were so close. Like, you knew that there was no H. You knew that there was an E in there. You were getting there, but then you put in the second N. And there are a lot of people who know me relatively well. Like, the people who know me really well know how to spell my name. It's the people who are kind of like in the middle, and it's like, you should know. Like, you clearly know me well enough. And like with Facebook and like Twitter, like, my name is right there. Like, it's right there. It's there, and it's just, you're like, so close, but so far. The other one about my name is when people say my name wrong. I get called Sienna and like Sina and Sienna like more times than I am comfortable with. And like, when I was in like elementary school and high school, if there was like a supply teacher and they were reading the list, they would say Sienna, and I'd be like, you don't know me, it's Shauna. And sometimes people get it right, and I'm like, good job, like, that's awesome. No one ever says Shauna when they see my name written down. But it's like, or even just like, I don't know, when someone just sees my name and they don't know me or whatever, and they say Sienna and they don't know. Like, I can't blame people if they don't know. It's when people, especially my friends, I have a few friends that do this, they know that my name is Shauna, like, they're my friends. Like, we do the whole friend thing, and then they call me Sienna on purpose because they know I don't like it. I really, it's not my name. Even like, when like the UPS guy comes to my door, it's Sienna, I'm like, oh. Although, when I was boarding a plane, I don't remember when it was, I board planes all the time, and I gave the guy my boarding pass and my passport, and he was like, oh, welcome aboard Sienna, Shauna, and like, he corrected himself right away. I didn't even say anything, and I was like, dude, like, you know what's up. The next one is when people chew so loudly. Like, I get that, like, if you're eating raw carrots, like, those things are crunchy. Like, you can't not chew loudly, but it's like, when I can, like, hear it, like, I don't mind hearing the crunch of you, like, eating, especially if we're in, like, a quiet room or whatever, but, like, when I can hear the food moving around in your mouth, and, like, or you're chewing with your mouth open, I cannot deal with people who do that. I had a roommate once when I lived in res who did that, and I wanted to punch her in the face. I can't stand when people chew loudly. Like, it's not that hard to just close your mouth while you're chewing. Next one is when I'm having a conversation with someone and they do not look at me. Like, I'm not creepy. Like, I don't need to have like 100% eye contact with someone, especially when it's just two of us and we're talking. I don't need you to be like staring at my face, but like, every few words, like, look in my direction. Don't be like staring up here while you're here and I'm talking. Like, I hate when people do that. Or like, if there's a group, if you are saying something to me, don't be looking at the person next to me. Especially if it's like, what you're saying is directed specifically at me. If you're like, hey Shauna, do you want to go get a cup of coffee? But you're looking at the person next to me. Hey Shauna, do you want to go get a cup of coffee? Excuse me, who are you talking to? I don't know, because you weren't looking at me. Or, this isn't as bad, but kind of the reverse of if someone is talking to the person next to me and they're looking at me. And I'm like, Are you asking me and you just don't know my name? I don't understand who you're talking to. I just, like, look at the person you're talking to, especially if there's a lot of people around and you're saying something specifically to one person. My next pet peeve is when I'm walking in hallways at school, walking down the sidewalk, walking through the grocery store, and there's someone right in front of me, and like, if we're walking the same speed, I'm fine, but especially if we're not just like moseying, if we're like walking and the person just stops. I can't handle that, because then I usually end up crashing into them because I'm not expecting them to stop, and like, cars have taillights, people don't. I can't tell that you have put the brakes on, you're walking, and then I crash into you, and then, I hate when someone just stops and I like kind of like stumble a little and like maybe hit them a little, and they turn around and give me a dirty look, and I'm like, you just stopped right in front of me. It especially happens the most like in the hallways at school, because usually like I'm usually hurrying from one class to another because I'm always late, so I'll be like speed walking, the person will just stop and I'll be like, what? And like, I hate when people just like stop. Like, if you need to stop for something, like make like a U-turn or like pull over to the side. I mean, I know like you're not in the car, but like you don't have to just like stop in the middle of the hallway. The next one is when I'm driving and when people ride their brakes, when they have their brakes on the whole time that I'm driving behind them. And like, if we're coming up to a red light or like we're in like a neighborhood or like school zone, like I'm okay if you slow down. You can put your brakes on, but like if we are on the highway, like 100 kilometer an hour speed limit, and there's no other cars around, there's no traffic, there's nothing, and you have your brakes on, I will cut you. No, I won't, but it just bothers me when I can have no idea why the person in front of me has their brakes on. And I don't know everything, and like when I was first learning how to drive, I definitely rode my brakes, and it was probably really annoying. The next one is when people interrupt me, and like, if I'm having a conversation with someone somewhere, like, say I'm in like the living room of my house and I'm talking with one of my roommates, and one of my other roommates walks in and starts talking, and I'm like, you didn't know that I was just having this conversation, like, you're not purposely interrupting us. I can be like, whatever. Or like, if I'm having a conversation with a person and it's kind of like we're both just kind of talking, and like maybe I wasn't quite finished with what I was saying, but you have something to interject in this like conversation, and it's just the two of us, and I can get back to what I was saying, like whatever. These are all very like circumstantial, but like if I'm telling a story, especially if there's more than one person around, if I'm telling a story, especially when someone asks me a question, and I'm answering their question, because then it's not like I'm just talking to hear my own voice. It's like someone asked me, and this is my answer to their question, and then someone else comes in and just starts talking, and I'm like, excuse you, was I done? No. And I know I talk a lot, like, I know, like, it's no mystery, I know, but I also know that I don't like being interrupted, so don't go there. It's not a good time, and it'll just make me angry. Like, it happened the other day when I was out for lunch with like a big group of people, and one girl asked me about something, and I was telling her this whole story that was answering her question, and like she was listening, and the person sitting next to me was listening. She was sitting like diagonally across from me, so the person next to me across from her was listening, the person across from me was listening, the person on the other side of me was listening. We were all talking, and then someone on this, she was here, and the person like over here just turned to like our little group and just starts talking about something. I was like, excuse you, like, I'm telling a story and all of these people that you're trying to talk to are listening, and then you just start talking, and I was like, well, okay, guess I'll never finish my story. My next pet peeve is when someone calls me and I answer and I say hello, and they say, oh, hi, and then don't say who they are. I cannot stand when people do not say who they are on the phone. And like, I have caller ID on my cell phone, so like, I know if it's someone that I know. If it's like a random number, or like if you're using like a landline and I only have your cell phone number, I know I can see what phone number is calling me, but I don't have a name. If you're not saved to my phone under a name, the name doesn't come up. So if I say hello and you're like, oh hey, and you start talking about whatever, I'm like, I don't know who you are unless you're like my mom. And even like when I call my mom, this is actually really funny. Every single time I call my mom, even if like I just text her like, I'm going to call you, and then 5 seconds later I call her, I always say, hi, it's Shauna. Every single time, because I know she hates when people don't say who it is on the phone. And like my mom's phone back home, we don't have caller ID because we live in the old times, and like a lot of times when I'm home at my mom's house, like I'll answer the phone, like if she's not around, obviously I answer the phone. The phone is never for me, but I answer it just because why not. And like, I guess me and my mom kind of sound similar on the phone, and if it's someone who doesn't like, isn't expecting me to be home, isn't expecting, like, knows that my mom lives alone, and like the only one answering the phone would be her, and then they start talking and I'm like, I don't know who this is. So this has been my pet peeves video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments some of your pet peeves, if any of mine are pet peeves that you have as well, or anything else. And I hope you guys didn't take this video too seriously. This was just kind of like a funny video. Like, these are the things that kind of bother me. We all have pet peeves, I know we do, and I just felt like sharing what some of mine are. So let me know down in the comments some of your pet peeves, and I will see you guys later. Bye!